Does this illegal migrant invasion prove the political class has never been so removed from the public, as Richard Littlejohn rightly points out?
They haven't a clue, have they? They really haven't got a clue what's going on, and they don't know how to handle it. And they're buzzing around like public school boys and public school girls with bits of paper in their hand, turning up at Westminster. They want to get their big boy pants on and do something about it. The first protocol with this mess, and it is a mess, is France. Why is France being allowed to be so inhumane? This is how I'll put it across to you. You stood on a very busy and dangerous road with about 500 school children who are eager to cross because their friends are on the other side. It's dangerous, there's a chance of death, and it's not that nice when they get to the other side because of the conditions. You're there, they're on your side of the road, you're an adult, you're not vulnerable, they are. What do you do with those vulnerable people? Do you stop them from crossing? Do you take responsibility for your part in this and stop them from crossing? Or do you let them have a go and hope that somebody meets them halfway from the other side to chaperone them in? What do you do? Why isn't anybody saying anything to France?
But you know why France are doing this, though, June. I mean, this is great for Macron, isn't it? He wants to do anything he possibly can to damage a post-Brexit Britain.
Well, everything is geared up to damaging Brexit. It was never going to be allowed to work. So anyone who's judging the current economy on Brexit, what I say is go and have a bloody Beecham's powder, because it's nothing to do with Brexit. It's to do with locking us down for 2.5 years. You don't recover from that overnight.
No,
and
indeed.
Brexit, what Brexit? We've never been allowed, we've gone straight from Brexit to lockdown. 3 months we've been out of the EU before we were locked down. How can you even sensibly judge that? I spoke to the Port of Calais, I spoke to the Port of Southampton, I spoke to P&O Ferries, I spoke to Nissan, I rang them up, I asked them, are you going to close your plant down? I pretended to be a little old lady who was worried about her grandson's apprenticeship, because I couldn't work out how you could take on apprenticeships when you're supposedly closing down. And she actually said, well, that's just upstairs, that's what they want you to think because they don't want Brexit. Come on, we've been lied to and scammed now since 2015 with the mainstream media, EU flags waving all over the telly to give you the psychological impression that everybody wants to stay in Europe. I had a house in Europe. I had the EHIX card, the pet passport. I should have been a Remainer. Why did I vote? I voted for my country. I voted because I knew we'd be better as a sovereign nation. The people are sovereign, not the politicians, and they seem to forget that. And
well,
I
indeed.
think that
and June, what do you make of what has happened over the past month? Because, of course, the mainstream media has moved on, but I haven't forgotten, you haven't forgotten, that there has actually been a Ramona coup within our government. Jeremy Hunt, who wanted a second referendum, he wants us back in the single market. He's the Chancellor none of us asked for, June. So it's very hard to believe that this is anything other than a specific globalist ploy now for Brexit to fail so that they can say, oh, we're just going to have to go back into the single market by the time Keir Starmer's Prime Minister. Do you agree?
Absolutely agree, 100%. No matter what I think about Boris Johnson and Partygate, I saw it as good news because I thought, result, it's safe. Would have been talking about the deaths and the destruction and the hospitalisations if hugging and kissing and dancing wasn't safe. But it's safe, so you can stick your lockdown where the sun don't shine, because you ain't locking me down again, and I don't even go out that much. As far as I'm concerned, what's gone on here is Boris Johnson was the only conduit to getting us out of the EU. And at the end of the day, if he'd stopped listening to his wife's pillow talk politics and put the green agenda back on page 54 and carried on with what he was tasked to do, we'd have been okay. But oh no, they can't back off. This is a Remainiac coup, and you are Remainiacs because you are ignoring democracy, whether you like it or you didn't. What you've got to remember is everybody who voted for Brexit didn't like being in the EU, but what did we do for 20 odd years? Me as an adult for 30 odd years. I got on with my job, I got on with my work, I run my home, and I didn't moan. I just got on with it. I didn't like being in it. I just got on with it.
Exactly.
But guess what? We voted for Brexit. We're not allowed that. Oh, no, you've got it wrong. You're thick. You're a gammon.
Yep.
I'm not thick. Many people would like to be a pound behind me because of the way my brain goes.
You have reclaimed the word, June Slater, our chief gammon.